All right, so let's take a look to see what happened in the markets today, Friday, April 16th, and we're trying to do this in 5 minutes or less. Well, let's take a look at the stocks, and they closed out the week with record highs again. I mean, can anything keep this market down? Let's take a look at the indices here. So here we're seeing the Dow Jones, and as you can see, the Dow just straight up here, up today 0.5%. Looking at the S&P 500, so the S&P 500 also just straight up making new record highs and actually closing higher for the fourth week straight, up 0.36%. And then also looking at the NASDAQ here. So as you can see, the NASDAQ today a little bit lagging. So we only had a small bar here, as you can see, but still up 0.11%. It was an interesting day today because if you take a look at a 5-minute chart of the Dow, so let's switch back here really quick. Then you see that actually most of the gains today came in the first few minutes. So if you take a look at the 5-minute chart that we have right near here, this is where we open, and you see in the open we shot straight up and then not much going down, a lift into the close, and this is where we ended the day positive and another record. So what happened today? Well, the good news just keeps piling in. If you look at the economic calendar, you see that the whole week we just had great economic news. So we had the CPI that came in pretty much in line, and this is the inflation, and so the inflation was in line with what was expected. Then we had the retail sales jumping 9.8, almost 10%. We had unemployment claims that came in the highest in a year. And today we had the preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment, and this actually rose to a 1-year high at 86.5. So previously from 84.9 up to 86.5. So good news all around. And then this was also the first week of earnings, and thus far earnings have been looking good. Banks all across reported better than expected earnings. So earlier this week we had JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citigroup all reported earlier this week, and today we had Morgan Stanley reporting. Now, super interesting here, they reported better than expected gains, and yet they finished down 2.8% in spite of good earnings. Now, for US Bancorp, the picture was completely opposite. So US Bancorp also reported an earnings beat, so better than expected earnings, and it actually finished higher, 2.8%. What do you know, right? I mean, it's just crazy markets. It's never it's never the news that is moving the market. It's the reaction of traders that is moving the markets. Anyhow, let's take a look what else is happening. The 10-year note yields continues to fall. You see it was rising up, then it leveled out, and right now it seems that it is falling, and this is helping stocks on their way to record highs. Now, stocks that had a rough day today were energy stocks. So here we have Marathon Oil, and as you can see, Marathon Oil was a loser today, lost 2.9% down, and then we also had OXY, Occidental Petroleum, down here, let's just see, around 2%, and it has been going down here for quite a while. So what can we expect for next week? Let's take a look at the economic calendar first and see what's happening next week. And as you can see, there's not much on the economic calendar. It looks pretty empty. So there's nothing on Monday, nothing on Tuesday. Crude oil inventories on Wednesday, that's pretty much nothing. We have the weekly unemployment claims that are being released on Friday, and then we have the flash manufacturing PMI on Friday. So not much on the economic calendar, and therefore next week earnings will remain in focus. So what do we have next week? So next week we have quite a few big names reporting earnings. So here we see IBM, Coca-Cola are reporting, United Airlines, you see it right underneath here. We also have Netflix, Johnson & Johnson reporting earnings, as you can see. So the focus will be remaining on earnings here. And so, I mean, just looking at these crazy markets that are just keeping going up, making new record highs. So the key question is, how much longer Can this rally keep going? And really, right now, it seems that nothing can stop this rally. So let's see what next week brings with more earnings being reported. As I always say, trade what you see, not what you think. Anyhow, this wraps up today's stock market news in 5 minutes or less, and it only took us exactly 5 minutes and 3 seconds. Anyhow, have a great weekend. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like the video if you like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.